So we can start. So as always, since I'm the one teaching the class today, you should text Steffi. Any questions? Steffi, if you could message the group as a whole right now so people can see where to text you, that'd be great. So yeah, today we'll be drawing the Great Wall of China. Yeah, obviously we can't draw the whole thing because that's really big. We're only gonna draw like one part of it, and it's gonna be kind of stylized. So yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So first things first, we're gonna draw like kind of. There's like towers in between the different parts of the wall. So we want to draw like a 3D box-ish thing. Well, right now it kind of looks like a book. Okay, you want to draw something like this, so and make it to the left side of your paper. And obviously, if I go too fast, make sure to text Steffi so that she can notify me, because I won't be checking the group or I won't be checking the chat. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now for the next part, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you can see it better on your own screen. But okay, so on the tower, we want to draw something like this, these short little lines, okay? They're not exact, they don't touch the ones on the side don't touch the existing box, but we're gonna connect them, so don't worry. After you have that, you can connect them inwards, like this, so it looks like it's a ridge. Yeah. And you also want to connect the top parts like this, but you want to make them kind of, sorry, there's an extra truck outside. You want to make them kind of like guidelines right now. Make them draw these lines very lightly. Don't make them too dark, and I'll explain why. The reason we don't want to make it that dark is because you want to draw these kind of like castle-like ridges on this section, and we can use the very light line as like a guideline in a way. Yeah. And do that for both sides. And then when you're done with the guideline, you can just erase it or something. All right, the next part's a little bit confusing, but we're gonna make these ridges 3D. And to do that, we need to, you wanna draw like rhombus or parallelogram shapes like this on top of each. And then for the corner one, you can connect them. And then after you draw these rhombus shapes, you want to draw from the very corner a line down. And you want to draw these like backwards L shapes that go inward like that. Okay. And then if you see where the two corners, where there's like the L shapes, you want to draw a line that connects the corners. This is probably the most complicated part of the drawing, the beginning at least. But yeah, we're almost done with it. Okay. Yeah, and then on top of the tower, there's like a little house thingy. And I want you to draw 3 lines like this. Each of the lines should actually be the same length as each other, or around the same length. They just start at different points. And for these two on the left side, you want to draw a curved roof. Like that. And then with that curved roof, you want to draw another layer so that the roof has like thickness to it. Like this. And then with that roof, the edge, you want to extend it outwards. Extend the line all the way down. And connect the 2 layers together. And Okay, yeah, and then we can, on the other side, we can finish drawing the roof. You're gonna try to mirror the same curve that you did for the front part and just connect it with a line. And for extra detail, you can add these little roof toppers. I don't know what they're called. These little like thingies on top of the roofs. Yeah, and you can also add more detail to the roofs, like this. Actually, I'm not gonna do that. That doesn't look good. Yep, I'm just gonna leave it pretty plain and simple. It's pretty like stylized, but that's fine. Is everyone done? Next, I want you to draw these two very light guidelines of where the back two walls or little panel things would be. We could go through the effort of making them also look 3D, but to me, it's not really worth it because they're kind of in the background. They're really small anyways. So yeah, I'm gonna do something very easy and just do this. So they're not super noticeable anyways, and we're gonna color them pretty dark, so you won't be able to see that much. It's not that big of a deal. And then with that, our, I guess, tower is kind of done, or I guess the base shape of it. We can now go on to adding the details of everything else. So first off, we want to section off portion of the bottom like this. Make sure it's following the same angle as like the whole building. And after you portion off a section, you want to, on the left side, you want to draw on the door. The door is like here, like that. It's kind of big. That's better. And then next to the door, there are like two small windows too. And on the right side, there's 3 windows. And then within the windows, you can make them look 3D by drawing something like this. It's kind of like an L shape. On the left side, you draw an L shape. On the right side, we draw a reverse L shape.
Andrea, can you zoom out and go slower from now on?
Okay, yeah, sorry. I'll give everyone like 2 more minutes to catch up. One more minute to catch up. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. For the door, to make it look 3D, it's pretty similar to the windows on the left side, except instead of drawing a line across, we draw a little curve that follows the same shape of the curve of the door, and we just draw a little line like that and end it like that. Okay, is that pretty okay with everyone? It'll make more sense if we color it in if you don't understand why we're doing this right now. Okay, now we're gonna draw in the actual like bridge pathways or like the wall part. Start by using a ruler and drawing a line out from the very edge of your paper, from the very edge of the tower, and the angle at which the line passes. Okay, I'll just use a ruler to show you. The angle. Do you see where my line, Okay, yeah. So, the angle at which like the start of the wall comes out is the same angle as like the right side. You see how everything's kind of angled in the same way, like all of it is like kind of uniform. You want it like that, okay? And it kind of goes down to the bottom or bottom left. After you draw in that line, you want to draw another line that looks like this, and it crosses over a little bit. It crosses over. And then, okay. And then on the right side of the wall, you want to draw a line like, one second actually. You want to draw a line that is kind of on the left side of the corner where the right and the left wall meet. A line here, that's just going to be our marker for now. And from the bottom of our marker, we want to draw a line outwards to the bottom left. And depending on actually from this perspective, we want to make it go a little more angled. And does everyone see kind of this red part where I'm highlighting these like lines here? We don't need those anymore. They're just gonna go in our way, so I'm gonna erase these parts. Oops. Because they're actually hidden underneath the bridge. you won't be able to see them. And then do you remember this line that we drew that's like next to, remember this line here, right? We're gonna use that, the very top of that line, and we're gonna draw another line going outwards. Like this. This is very confusing right now, I understand, but just stick with it and it'll make more sense as we go. After drawing this line out, we want to draw another one. On the left side, left wall, we want to connect this corner and make it go straight down. Erase stuff if you have to, but I already erased mine from before. And then as you can kind of guess, the corner, with the corner, you want to use the corner as a starting point for another line that goes off the page like this. And you can also erase the stuff that's underneath the lines that we don't want anymore. Like that. And then as you can tell, we want to connect these, the two parallel lines on each side of the wall. Like that. And our wall is basically like this. Steffi, am I still going too fast?
No, you're good.
Okay. Okay. And then also, you know how we drew a line separating there's like a bottom half of the tower? You can just continue that line onto the wall. Okay, so the front half of the wall is done. Let's do the remaining bits. Normally this wall has like ridges on them that look like this, but it's just gonna take way too long to draw all of them, and it's gonna be really complicated. So we're not gonna do that today. If you want to go back in and draw them in after class, that is also very cool. Okay, so let's draw the right side, or like behind the tower, there's still more of a wall, right? So you kind of want to start by drawing a rectangle that kind of just juts out from the back. Doesn't make any sense right now, but it will, don't worry. After you draw out this little like area, you kind of want to draw two parallel, like two lines that are close to each other, like that. And then kind of parallel-ish, not really. It kind of goes in a little bit. You want to draw another line, another two parallel lines like this. They kind of look like chopsticks right now. And the wall kind of curves as it goes across hills and mountains and stuff. So we want to draw in zigzag patterns, basically, with the wall. And then as you go higher and higher, or farther and farther away from this, like from view, the lines get closer and closer together because things that are farther away from you look smaller, right? And then once we have that down, or the like zigzag pattern down, where the zigzag kind of like juts out, we want to draw a line down. Like that. Same thing for the inside, but the inside make the line that's going down a little bit smaller, like very small. Just a little bit like this. And then you can follow the same like angles and stuff, and then just draw in the bottom part of the wall every time there is a line that goes down, for the outside at least. And then for this one, since you can't really see it, you're just gonna have to, for the very top bit, we're just gonna have to guesstimate. It's like that. After that, with the very small walls, we want to also draw lines inside. So the very tiny lines that we drew on the inside of the zigzags, you want to connect them following the same angles and stuff, right? Like that. So you can see the inside of the walls. And the same thing goes to the very last one, even though it's really tiny and you can barely see it. You want to draw a line like that. I gave everyone some time to catch up because this one is just kind of looking closely at the drawing and making sure that you have the lines in the right places, or else it's gonna look a little bit off. Once you're done with this, you can also continue drawing the separation line that is on the outside of the walls. This is just for like coloring use later. When we color it, the actual wall itself on the bottom is a little bit darker for some reason. I don't know. So you just want to add a single stripe throughout the entire outside of the walls. And basically, this is kind of our sketch, like, or our drawing right now, our line art. Not too bad when you break it down to smaller pieces. Yeah. And since we have 25 minutes left over, we can color it. So depending on which section of the Great Wall of China you're looking at and how bright it is outside, it can look beige or gray or like tan-ish color. I personally think that it looks cool when it's tan. So that's what color I'm gonna color it in with. Kind of like this, but lighter. Okay. And then I'm gonna, yeah. So you can use tan or whatever color you want. The point is, we want it lighter tan on the top half of the wall, and then you want it to be a darker tan when it's like the bottom half of the wall, okay? This goes throughout the whole entire wall too, okay? That's the color scheme we're gonna basically be using. We will also be doing shading after you add in the base layers. A note of warning is to not color super dark when you add in your base layers. I know that since I'm drawing on an iPad, it's hard to demonstrate, but when you're coloring it with colored pencils or crayons, don't color in too dark when you first put your your first layer in. I'll give people a little bit more time to color. Oh wait, I forgot to add something. We should add a background. Backgrounds are cool. Background. Okay. So our background is gonna be pretty simple. Actually, it's gonna be like hills, right? So you can just add like or something, and then it goes downhill. Okay. Like that. And at the very corners, you can add some lines like this. Oh. And grass, if you want to add grass. Grass is just lines, right? So it's not that hard. Yep. Okay. Can I assume that everyone's kind of done with the base coloring for the wall? Because we're gonna go on to shading. If you don't say anything. Okay. So the first initial shading we want to do is with the right side of like the wall and stuff. Okay, so what we want to do is on the right side of the wall, it's not where the sun hits. So you want to shade it this entire part kind of lightly. Don't press too hard. Again, we just want to make it slightly darker. Same thing with the top ridge and the house part. Like that. Okay? Pretty simple. You can also do the same. Actually, no, we're not gonna do that. It's fine. Actually, yeah. You can also do the same with the wall that you can see the closest. Like here. And the top part of the roof. You want to shade in a little bit on the top part. Stephy, am I still going too fast? Or are we good?
No, you're good.
Okay. And on the right, all the way back here, there's a wall, right? You want to shade that in lightly here too. Okay. And this wall here if you want. Like that. Pretty simple, I think. Okay. Once you have that down, now we can get into the details. So underneath, oops. underneath the roof, you want to shade in a little bit darker, right? Because this is where like the shadows, everything are, right underneath the roof, like here. Okay, and on these little L-shaped things, you can shade in a little bit, like that. No biggie. And also the back panels. Little back panels. Okay. And then for the windows and stuff, you want to color in the L shapes that we drew in for the windows. And the door, just like this one piece that we have for the door. Same thing goes for the right side, like the reverse L shapes. We want to color that in. Okay, and then for this part, I want you to draw like a triangle that goes down like this for this part of the wall. And then from that triangle, you want to draw a line all the way out to the edge of the paper. And we're going to color in this whole thing. Except for the very top edge of the wall. Don't color in the top edge, just this stuff. Just where I'm coloring. You don't have to make it that dark. The same thing for the right side. You also want to draw like a little triangle thing, and then you can color it down. But we already did some shading for this side, so you don't have to do it as hard per se. Like that. And then on the right side of the wall, you want to color in this inner wall, like right here. And then you see these seams, like where the wall and the tower meet, you can make it a little bit darker and make it a gradient. Same thing goes for where this wall and the other wall meet. When there's like a turn, you can make a gradient and it makes it look better. But basically, that's kind of how you draw the Great Wall of China. We also can color in the doors and the windows. So like the windows, obviously color inside the windows where it's really dark and there's no sunlight or anything. like that. You can use black or just a really dark brown. The door is a little bit more complicated, but I would still just color in the door shape, and then when it comes to like the bottom, where it's kind of meeting the outside, a little bit of shadow might show. So just kind of add like a gradient like this. Okay. And obviously the background is green because the grass is green. So let's find a green to use. What kind of green? Okay, this is green. This is fine. And then the sky is blue. I'm gonna make it kind of like a light blue or light. It looks more like a light purple-ish color. That's fine. Just see how it looks. Maybe this is like a nighttime scene. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a little bit too cool. Okay. Yeah. And if you want, you always add shading because shading makes everything look better. You can just shade in the parts that aren't high up. So where you know the sun doesn't hit. So yeah. That's kind of our drawing of the Great Wall of China. If you have any questions, you can ask us right now. And it's also our last class, if something you didn't realize. It's been really fun teaching you all how to draw and stuff. We hope that you all learned something or at least enjoyed the class, even if you didn't learn anything necessarily. Yeah. We're gonna post this drawing on Google Classroom too. So if you want to see it for reference, you can do that there. But yeah. Stephy, any last words?
I want to say thank you for joining us these past few weeks. It's been really fun for me.
Yeah, okay. You can take a screenshot of this if you don't want to wait until Google Classroom post is updated. But yeah, that's the end of class. You're all dismissed. Bye.
Bye.